Understep Biological Products has told Parliament that it had to destroy large consignments of vaccines after load shedding affected its production. This entity is South Africa's state vaccine maker and the continent's only livestock vaccine manufacturer. It says its net revenue declined from 209 million rand in the last financial year to 170 million in the current year, largely due to equipment failure and disruptions in production. The company's business development officer is Dr. Jacob Modumo, who joins us now via our video link for more on this. Dr. Modumo, it's great to see you. Thanks for your time, sir. Really devastating, once again, another instance where load shedding is affecting really all aspects of our lives. How many vaccines are we talking here, these ones that had to be destroyed because of these power cuts?
Morning, Ayanda. Morning, viewers. As you are well aware that we are a livestock vaccine manufacturing company, and we have over more than 50 products that are registered with FD6. And most of the vaccines that are produced are planned 18 months ahead of time. So what it means is during those specific times where we have load shedding, it can be quite a number of products that are being lost due to load shedding. Because the moment you commence the process of producing a product as is interrupted by equipment breakdown or even load shedding, unfortunately the whole batch will have to be discarded. So out of my mind, of the key products that are needed by most of the farmers and of economic importance to them, is plus or minus 7 to 8 products that were affected a year ago. And even the same.
Yeah. Is there a way of quantifying that? I mean, how much money typically would that be?
Well, it will be variable depending on the product. But of key ones that I can relate to is the one viral vaccines and some of the blood vaccines, because farmers are always complaining about them. We lost close to between 14 and 20 million based on the quantities of the batches that were actually produced. If you can recall, a year ago, between the month of July right up until the end of September, we had short interrupted electricity outages. And that actually meant every production run was affected up until we reached a stage whereby we realized that we had to stop one product, because some of the microbial antigens used to produce the product are so sensitive that the moment there is any form of variation in temperature, unfortunately, we will end up losing the pest. So in a nutshell, what I can say on those key products that we lost, over plus or minus 20 million was actually lost due to discarding some of the products.
Sure. I can imagine people starting to try and think of the ripple effects. I mean, we already saw earlier this year of the foot and mouth disease, which seemed to be spreading uncontrollably. In fact, there was then a directive from government that we stop transporting cattle around the country for fear that this disease would continue spreading. What do you reckon the risks are now that you haven't been able to produce these vaccines?
Well, with regard to foot and mouth, well, that is something else. The direct official can actually comment about that. As you are well aware, I'm sure that you are well aware that the current foot and mouth vaccines, we actually imported from Botswana Veterinary Institute. We are the commercial partner in South Africa with the company. And it is us who, I can say, we use OBP as a vaccine bank for foot and mouth, and we distribute according to the needs of Dalras as directed by them. So for now, there's no reason the product will be available. It's available. We've been distributing it in the past months to where it's been needed as a directive of Dalras. So yes, there's been quite a movement control. Farmers have been affected by that, and not only within the country. Remember, it also has an impact on exports.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's also increased pressure because there's, this window period, if you like, to carry out certain vaccines, lest you have, a real crisis on your hands. We know the rainy season is coming up. In many instances, waterborne diseases might be affecting livestock. How worried are you that you may not be able to meet up the anticipated demand, given the challenges you're facing?
I think in the last year, right up until to date, and moving forward, fortunately, on some of the key products, that are affected, as you rightfully say, on the vector-borne disease, and the summer is just upon us now. We've managed to try to minimize losses and try to upscale. Yes, we have been having quite a challenge with regard to equipment failure on our side, but we have plans in response to that. And some of the products that are not available for now, but we are planning to produce them, is blue tongue. The equine industry has been complaining about the availability of African horse sickness, of which in the last 2-3 weeks we have made sure that we produce quite enough that can supply almost 100% of horses within the control zone in Western Cape. On other products such as lumpy skin, vector-borne disease, they are available. Beef femoral, of course, is not available, but we have plans of trying to look at other alternative production sites, and those negotiations are at an advanced stage so that we can minimize the risk.
Of course, load shedding is not the only problem that's plaguing the entity itself. I mean, there have been scandals at executive levels. There are forensic investigations being carried out at, the previous CEO, et cetera, with the company's overall performance having declined so drastically, there are real concerns that farmers have actually found alternative suppliers of these vaccines. What work is being done to make sure they come back?
We have been engaging with all of the stakeholders about the status of our production capacity at OBP. They are well aware about our challenges with regard to certain equipment, and we have actually sourced those equipment. They will be installed within a year or two. And we've informed them that we have other alternative plans, production sites that we have identified, so that we can respond to their needs. And our plans are afoot that within the next coming, as I explained earlier on, that production of vaccines we plan 6 months ahead of time. Those plans are well in plan, and we will be in the production within the next coming 4 to 5 months in preparation for the new financial year. And we can reassure the clients and most of the, especially sheep farmers and co-ops who are the retailers who hold the stock, that the product will be available in full stock on all the products come the end of March 2023. So they shouldn't be worried about a disruption that we experienced in the last 2 years.
All right, Dr. Jacob Modumo, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us.